Hi, everyone. There's Penny over there. I want to get my little sign on here. Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, Bryland. You're here. Is your husband home from his trip? Uh, Diane's here. Riri. Bumblebee. Bryland. Hi. The group's here. Yes, after I do my sales report thing to you, I have news about something I sold yesterday afternoon, something big. Yeah. Yeah, it just came on. Oh, at 3:30 you have to help mom cover plants from the cold. Yeah, who's in line to get the snow, the big snow thing? I think it's gonna stay south of me. It looks like it. Bumblebee is are you gonna get it there? Or are you in it yet? Yeah, another big snow event. I did not go out to the chickens today yet. I may go out after I'm done here because Bruce came and plowed my driveway. And once he plows, it has to be plowed because the mail truck won't drive up the driveway unless it's plowed when there's a lot of snow. So he had to plow, but it's actually easier for me to walk when the snow is deeper. Now that it's, shaved off the top, that sort of makes it a little slippery for me. So I take my walking stick, and it's kind of hard when I'm carrying treats for the chickens too. But I'll make sure I have my phone with me. Riri, you're getting it. You're getting it this evening. Yeah. Brylan must be getting the cold. Yeah. I guess Tennessee and Virginia's going to get it. Yeah, it looks like it's staying south of here, just the bottom half of Ohio. It looks like it's gonna get. So, yeah, so how's everybody doing? I'm sure my oil bill is going to be sky high because I have my heat on. I always keep it toasty warm in here. But yeah, I can't stand to be cold. So I pay the budget amount anyway, so I might as well. Then twice a year, if I'm over, I have to pay a bigger amount. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm still under. I don't owe them anything yet. Yeah, so the week started out pretty good and then it just stopped. I think after I said something about it, that it was looking good, maybe on Thursday, and then it just went to a dead halt. But then I got a couple sales yesterday. And like I said, one biggie you'll be really surprised about. So after this, I will tell you about it. It came with some problems. Let me just say that. Uh, yeah. And came also with something that I did that was really dumb. It's like I try to shoot myself in the foot. I don't know. So I'm going to share my screen. and show you what I sold this week. First, I'm going to show you my sad graft. But as you see here at the end, this was yesterday, this huge spike. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat. This huge spike here. This is one item right there. That's just a hint. One item. So I'll tell you about it when we come back. So let me go to the next window here. I sold 8 things on eBay and 9 things on Poshmark. So Poshmark beat eBay this week because eBay just sort of stopped in the middle of the week. But this is what I sold on eBay. On the 29th, I sold this little Old Navy racerback tank top. It sold for a $10 best offer, which I was glad to take. And it went to someplace in Kansas. That was a best offer, of course. Next thing is this little Ann Taylor wool blend A-line skirt in a size 12. This is sort of, I don't know what color that is. Tan, goldish tan, A-line plaid skirt. Is knee length, and it sold for a best offer of $12. The first best offer they sent me, I think, was $9, and I sent back, I either declined it or sent back this $12 best offer, which they took. And this went right over here to Akron, Ohio. Not very far. Here's an express sweater, mock neck, had balloon sleeves. It was a sort of a creamy white color, had no tags in it as far as what it was made out of. So this sold for a best offer of $16. And it went to Clear Springs, Florida. And I sold a purse. Now, I don't have many purses left because I don't really buy them anymore. But this was like new. It was a vegan leather, had this big old gold thing here and some gold zippers, and it was sort of a nice looking bag. It's a crossbody bag. And it sold for $15.19, which was the sale price of 20% off. And this went to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Next thing is this Massimo chambray blouse, roll tab sleeves, and this was a pullover. It just had that sort of a rolled neck, but it was a pullover, high-low hem. And this sold for a best offer of $10, which I took. This is sort of a summery type fabric. I haven't sold chambray since summertime. But yeah, it went to Nebraska. Here's BCBG Max Azria, is that how you pronounce it? Dress pants. They were wide leg, size large, and they sold for a best offer of $16. And they went to someplace in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, all these are, you have to add shipping onto these. Everybody pays shipping. Next thing is this Marika knit top, lifestyle. new with tags, women's large. And this sold for a best offer of $14. And yeah, this went to someplace in Texas. I can't read that word there. Someplace in Texas. Now, I think I'm going to save the last thing till the end because this is the surprise thing. It's sold on eBay. And it's sold on eBay late yesterday afternoon. I'll tell you where it's going. It's going to Beverly Hills, California. But let me show you first what I sold on Poshmark, and then we'll come back to the surprise thing. It has a story behind it. This is by Studio Works, sold on Poshmark. It's a sweater in a size large. It had this little, this cute little latch thing here. I don't know why that won't show when I click it, but it doesn't. Okay, little leather detail there with the ring. This sold for $20. I netted $16, and this went to someplace in Washington State. Next thing is by the brand is called Rag. It's It's a denim shift sleeveless dress, front button down, and it was sort of almost knee length, maybe a little above the knee, V-neck, no tags except for the brand, and it sold for a best offer of $12. Or no, it sold for $15. And that was a best offer. I see. I netted $12 on that. Next thing is another pair of Democracy jeans, and these were sort of a maroon color. So another pair of colored jeans, which I'm glad to sell. These were a size 10 with that ab technology. Sold for $22. There was a shipping discount, so I made $15.58 on that. And the next thing was a really good sale. This is Lululemon, an open sweater coat, merino wool. It came down to the knees. This was a really nice looking piece. Had side pockets. There was no size dot in it, but it sold for $60, and I netted $48 for this. So that was a good sale. This went to Stoughton, Wisconsin. Stoughton, something like that. This is St. John's Bay. This was a new with tags, men's black jacket, zipper front. It's just St. John's Bay, but I've had this forever up in my coat room. I still have about 3/4 of the rack still full of coats up there, which I would like to get rid of. This sold for $25, and I netted $20. This went to Apex, North Carolina. And here's a Knox Rose in the wintertime. Knox Rose boho gauzy top in an extra large, balloon sleeves, tassels, embroidery, all that stuff that Knox Rose has. This sold for $15. I believe that was a best offer. And I made $12. It went to Lakeville, Minnesota. MN, that's Minnesota, right? Okay, here's a pair of Catherine's petite women's size 14-16 everyday fit pull-on pants. Had a elastic waist. I think they had pockets. I'm not sure. Pretty sure. Brown. These sold for $17. There was a shipping discount, so I made $11.58. And they went to West Wyoming, Pennsylvania. I didn't know there was a Wyoming, Pennsylvania. And I've had these forever too. A pair of Big Star jeans. These had the white stitching that used to be real popular. They were the Casey. Casey was the style name on these. Low rise, boot cut, flat pockets on the back. And these sold for $18. Big Star used to sell for a lot more than that, but they don't anymore. There was a shipping discount, so I only made $12.38. But glad they sold. It frees up money for me to buy other things. That's why I take a lot of these lowball offers. Here's a little hippie rose cottage core full skirt. This was a cute little skirt, but it sat and sat with no interest, so I finally took a best offer of $10 on this little skirt. Had tiny little ditzy flowers on it. It was a size extra large. I made $7.05 on that. Okay, let me take you back to the sale I made on eBay yesterday. Here it is. Yes, I had one of those Martha Stewart books. I started seeing that these, for some reason, I have no idea why, for some reason, they were selling like crazy for big numbers. I mean, there was a couple on that sold for close to $400. This is a big book. It's like 10 by 10. It's a big square book. It's about an inch thick. It was copyrighted and printed in 1982. And I had this book. I've had it for a long time. And I'll tell you my whole story with Martha Stewart when I come back here to you. But it sold for $249. I think it was this person, or it might have been another person that offered me close to 200 on it. I didn't take it because I knew this was going like hotcakes. So I sold this in 2 days that I put it on. Now, see where it says ground shipping here? People somehow can go on here and request padded flat rate shipping. That's what it comes up as. That's what they request. They want it sent priority padded flat rate. Well, this book won't fit in a padded flat rate envelope. So I'll tell you what I did when I come back here. But $249. And when I tell you the amount I made, well, after tax, which is California's tax is huge. So they had to pay $23.66 in tax, those poor people. And then shipping, and it came out that they paid $283.86 for this book. But I'll come back here and tell you. Well, let's go to the end here. I have one more tab, so I don't have to come back here. This is what the totals I made on eBay and the reason why. This was from the 29th to the 4th, which is yesterday. I grossed $433.80. This is tax collected by eBay, but then it goes back and forth. It doesn't really mean anything here. My selling costs $199.29. Now remember, this is the first week of the month and I have to pay my store fee. So $60 of that was in the store fee. But I netted $202.10. And, that's, yeah, that's over half. Well, it's not quite half of what I'm gross amount is. So, yeah, that's for 8 items on eBay. So I will the average selling price doesn't really count because when you sell something big like that for more money than anything else you ever sell, it skews up this. So that isn't accurate at all, 54.23. So we're not even going to count that. So let me come back here and I'll tell you all the stupid things I did. Sharing. Okay. First about the shipping. And I can show it to you right here because I have it. This weighs nearly 5 pounds. It won't fit in a padded flat rate, of course. It's too big. I figure if somebody changed the ground advantage to priority, any kind of priority, I should still send it priority. Is that correct? I wish Cha-Ching King was here. If anybody sells a lot, well, Brian, you sell a lot. What you think? If they ask for priority, that means I sort of have to send it priority, right? I can't like send it to with ground advantage. So a miracle that I had a box. This is a box inside here. This is the exact size box almost. It fit perfectly in here with a little padding because I used to use this size box when I sold craft paper, It was like 12 by 12 craft paper. So I had the box, but I didn't want to just send the box because it's going all the way to Beverly Hills. I didn't want anything to happen to this. So I thought, well, I'll just put it in a plastic bag, this is the bigger eBay bag, and put the priority stickers on it and send it priority. Oh, I shouldn't be showing the label. That was bad. Yeah, so it's going priority and yeah, weighing like 4.5 pounds. So I had to up the ship. I think they paid $11 and something in shipping. And I paid for my label, I paid $18. So that's the first amount that I'm paying extra. The other dumb thing I did was when I was listing it, when people were buying these like crazy, I shouldn't have promoted it at all. It wasn't necessary to promote it. Not only did I promote it, I've been promoting things like, I don't know, between 4 and 5%. So I went to promote it. And sometimes if you don't watch, my sign's going to fall down. If you don't watch, sometimes it flips back and it flips back to what they want to get. Well, it flipped back evidently to 10%, which I didn't see until it sold. So I'm also paying, beside eBay fees, I'm also paying an extra 10% promoted fees. So there's the fee on top of the added, the added label fee, the upped label fee. So I'm telling you, the label cost, because I sent it priority, and it's going all the way from Ohio to California, and it's 4.5 pounds. And that's why they probably up it to 5. I put the exact weight on there. And the size, I don't know, that's what it came out to be, to do it plain priority mail. It's a weighted it's a weighted amount, and where it's going is what it costs. So yeah, $18. So they paid 11, so I paid an extra $7 plus the 10% of the wholesale. Yeah. So that was my story about that. Now, my story about Martha Stewart. The reason I have this book and many others of hers, this was one of the very first ones that I got. It's one of her very first books. Uh, it's when she had long hair. She's very young. I started following her, I think, online somehow. I don't know exactly how. Or maybe I bought a book. Maybe I bought this book. But she had some other books about the houses that she was redoing. She lives in New England, I think Connecticut. And she loved old century homes. And she, of course, having some money, she did these homes over to be just spectacular. And she'd use all her homes had the old doorknobs, they had the old latches, lots of pictures in these books that I have. And so I started following her. This is before she was on TV or anything. She did lots of craft stuff, made things by hand all the time. And the very first time she got on television was, I think, it was either a cooking program or a craft, it's probably craft, some sort of a crafty program. Her first programs came on at 4 in the morning. I would set my alarm. Now, I was working at the time. We lived in Parma. I would set my alarm to watch these because there was no recording them. This is on an old time TV. And I would watch this program that was probably on just a half hour, and that was her first chance to get on TV. So from that point on, I followed her. I bought lots of her books. She finally got on TV that was a better time. And I used to make all kinds of things. There was one Christmas I remember, I made all my own wrapping paper. I would get like craft paper. It was almost like this wrapping paper that I use now that's a lighter tan, but it was a darker tan. It was like butcher paper. And I would hand stamp. I would carve this. You're going to think I'm nuts. You know how you could carve things out of a half of a potato? You cut the potato in half, and then you could carve designs in it, and you could make your own stamp. It's before I had stamps. You could make your own stamps with this potato. I made all my own wrapping paper for Christmas one year. I don't know if anybody appreciated it, but yeah, I have no pictures. I mean, I have a bunch of uh, external hard drives. Like I have like 3 old hard drives, external hard drives. I wonder, I'm going to have to get my grandson to show me how to connect those up because I don't think they have the same wiring as the back of this computer anymore. But they may. I have to look. Who knows? Maybe lots of treasures would be on those pictures that I don't have anymore. But anyway, I followed her all the way up to just recently, well, a few 10 years ago. It's when she started it's they started talking about that she was so unkind and mean to the people that worked with her. I don't know, it just gave me a bad taste in my mouth, and I just sort of stopped, buying her things and and following her. 17 in the chat. Wow. My shipping policy is not they don't get to the only other pick that they can pick is that padded flat rate, priority padded flat rate. And I tried to turn it off, but because there's so many others listed with it, like I would put jeans, I would ship jeans in that. I would have to go through my entire inventory to find out what, how that's listed and take it off altogether on all those listings. I don't know if I can do that all at once or not because it's all over my inventory. I know um, jeans that would be, they would have that pick for sure. Like these jeans I sold, they could have picked that if they would have picked padded flat rate. And I think the one did. I think they both did. In fact, they picked the padded flat rate, and I can stuff jeans into that padded flat rate. But until I get all those off of my listings, I can't delete it to so that everything would be, ground advantage. So that is the problem. If anybody knows how to do that, you know, if I can edit and find out the shipping, who has all that shipping? The good thing is I didn't even have to allot for the price I paid for that book, which was, I think that book at the time was like $18.95. And I bought it new. I bought all her books new back then. I wasn't on YouTube or any of this stuff wasn't here. So I went to the bookstores, Borders and, all those big bookstores that used to be and bought that. So the book cost under $20 and it sold for $249 and they're selling for more than that. I told my daughter happened to call on her break of work when I was wrapping it. And I told her about it and she says, "Do you have any other, Martha Stewart books?" And I do, but they're not going for anything. What is it about this book? Is it because it was her first book? Maybe. I'm not even sure if it was her first book, but maybe it was. Is there something magical about this book? Like I said, some are going for $100 more even. So I don't know. It's a mystery. Another thing that sort of worries me, although the person that bought this in Beverly Hills, California, it looks like she only had one. This was her first sale, the first time she bought. She doesn't have any feedback, which sort of worries me always. But she paid right away, and it's going to be on its way tomorrow. So I don't know. Somebody, you have to start someplace, I guess, when you're buying things, when you're just a buyer. Hopefully, it's going to be fine. Bumblebee says she would have contacted the buyer to see if it would be all right To send it ground advantage, you mean? Yeah. Well, look, I looked at it this way. I paid under $20 for the book. I've had it forever. I never look at it anymore. And because it's mostly about cooking, entertaining, nothing that I do. And I sold it for $249, even though I think at the tail end of all these fees and everything, I only actually made $183. That's $183 that I didn't have, yesterday morning. So I don't want to be a little piggy about this. So did you Google map the address? No, because you were wondering what to do and it wouldn't fit in the bubble mailer. Yeah. Oh, that's why you would have contacted her. Well, I knew there was some way to get it priority to her, but it wasn't, padded. The padded thing is a flat rate. It would have been much less expensive, but oh well. A lot of these books priced at what I priced and priced higher, they had free shipping on them. So, I did think about even putting free shipping, and then I would have been even worse off. Because you were wondering. Michelle says, I did this 1 year with my daughter 40 years ago. We are original stampers. Oh, about the potato? Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, you could also use carrots, anything that you could, carve out a little bit. You could use like a fat carrot and make a little stamp. Yeah. Yes, it's still a really good sale. Maybe she just wanted low price shipping and she's new. Yeah. You feel the same way as you get older. Just get it out. Just sell it. Everything is I'm not losing money on anything, even things that are going as low as $10 and I'm getting 7. I only paid like 3, $4 for. So I'm not losing any money. Maybe 1 in 1,000 I may have lost something, but no. As far as taking really low ball offers of things that I've had a while, that's not bothering me anymore because it's just money coming back in the till and I can get better things. Or or now that I'm buying other things other than clothes, I'm still going to buy clothes always, but I'm going to, experiment about hard goods and antiques and vintage. They're they're a lot more interesting to me to look for now. I don't know, I'm just sort of bored with clothes, I guess. Uh, yes, I am shopping my house. I have put several things in the light box. Uh, yeah. So that's my story about the book and about Martha. Uh, I did think I did follow her, what she was doing when she was in prison. For how long? What was she in? For 6 months, a year? What? She did a whole she was doing crafts in prison, and she had a whole following. Yeah, so she still sends me emails every day practically, recipes and all kinds of things. So, okay, that's the story about that. Let me tell you about my thoughts on my chickens. You know, when it gets so cold, Bryland Farm will laugh at this, but when it gets so cold like this, well, it doesn't get cold in Louisiana like it does up here. It's like, when it gets down in the teens and they're out there, even though, their coop isn't as cold as a coop would be out in the middle of the yard because it's inside the garage and it's also, you know, has insulation in the walls. Well, in two of the walls, but and I only have 3 chickens now, 3 little girls, and they're old. They're getting old. And the other day when I went, it was the middle of the day, and I took out their treats, and I'm giving them corn right now because it keeps them warm. I don't have any corn on the cob, so I buy canned corn. I rinse it real good and give them a bunch of corn with their lettuce and other things, a little bit of cat food, give them some protein, and the corn keeps them warm. It's a lot of carbohydrates and stuff. So I could only see 2 chickens, and I thought, oh my heavens, what happened? And the two white girls, the 2 cochins, they sleep in the nesting boxes at night. I think it's warmer in there. And poor Ruru, or Coco, sits on the perch out there all by herself. And yeah, the 2 girls are in the nesting boxes. So I quick looked in the nesting box, and yes, she was in there, and she jumped out right away. Because I was hoping, heavens, I hope she didn't die in the middle of the night or something. But they were fine. But I often think when it's really cold and it gets dark, and I often think maybe I should bring him in the house. I could keep him in the bathroom in the winter when it's really cold. Yeah, that's dumb thinking. But I feel sorry for them. I can't think about them out there too much. Uh, so yeah, it probably wouldn't be good to bring them in the middle of winter to the warm house. And my dog, I'd be worried about my dog breaking down the door of the bathroom and getting him all 3 at once. Yeah, but those are my thoughts on chickens in the wintertime. So I will, when I finish off here, it is staying lighter minutes at a time since when the 21st of December. Now every day, like a minute at a time, it's staying lighter uh, in the evening. So I still have time after 5 o'clock to get out there and give them a treat. I just have to be careful going across the driveway. My my son gave me those stretch-on spikes to put on the bottom of my boots. They're so hard to get on. I can't even get them on. They were to fit his boots. So, I don't know. The rubber is way too it's not stretchy enough for me to do with my hands. My hands aren't strong anymore. Bumblebee. I will answer your questions. I will answer your questions when this evening when I get off here this evening sometime. But at the time your text came across, my daughter was also texting me, and that's when I was wrapping the book. So I couldn't answer your questions at that time, but uh, I will when this evening when I'm out there sitting. I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. Because I do appreciate that really a lot. Ah, so I'm having some sort of leftovers for supper. Uh, I think a half of a hamburger and a half of a uh, sausage burger that I had for New Year's Day. I made sauerkraut the Bohemian way. I'll have to give you that recipe sometime. Uh, Bohemian. My first husband was Bohemian. His mother, Mamie, she made this wonderful sauerkraut. And they would have pork and sauerkraut and dumplings every Sunday. Every Sunday. It was a pork roast, and then they would pour the pork grease over the these dumplings. Now, these dumplings weren't fluffy dumplings. These dumplings were like dense. They were called sinkers. And yeah, I don't make them. Used to cut them with like a bread knife. I mean, they would slice. These weren't like regular, you know, fluffy dumplings. But that's how they made them. And you'd have these dumplings covered with grease, and the sauerkraut made this special way. It was not sour. It's delicious, actually. I really like it. And pork. Well, I don't eat pork, but I had these sausages that I got a package of sausages for uh, eggs. You know, sometimes when I make eggs, I'd like to have a little bit of meat with them or sausage or something. So I had that. So I thought, well, that's pork. I'll have pork and sauerkraut. And look at it, made me rich. I sold that book. It worked. Ah, 18 in the chat. Okay. Well, whoever came on late, I have to go now. I have to go pretty soon. Not yet. I have to go pretty soon and give my chickens some treats. They've been out in the cold all day, all night. I need to give them some corn. Corn and romaine lettuce and a handful of cat food, like hard cat food, which my cat isn't supposed to even eat right now with her diabetes. Oh, you knew I'd be getting ready for the stream. Well, I made the thumbnail yesterday. I I have such fun on Canva making things. The time just gets away from me. Hi, Fly Moves. Thank you. Yes, please all hit the like button. Uh, yeah, please share. Share. I need views. That's what I need. I need views. That's what I am uh, don't have near enough of. My videos, I don't understand. I just don't understand. I go on some videos that I don't even know why I'm watching them, and they have 2.5 thousand views, and I have 67. I don't understand the view thing. So yeah, I'm still doing the vidIQ. I'm going to make a video about Um, since I'm doing my new budget book and my whole budget thing, I'm looking all my subscriptions. I found a subscription that I didn't realize I was paying on. Please don't think I'm dumb. It just it gets paid by on a card. So I just didn't realize I was paying $9.49 a month for 11 years. Yeah, if you add that up, it's quite a bit. So I did delete that one. But there's a couple more I have to call. I'm going to stop American Greetings. I'm not going to send any more of those e-cards. If I want to send a card, I don't use it near as much as I used to. If I want to send a card, I'm going to send a real card, like Riri. And the video, Amazon Video. Somehow I'm paying for the video. I'm supposed to be getting that free with my Amazon, my regular Amazon, to get things fast and free on Amazon. But there's something like you, I must have signed up somehow to get the the better one or something on the video on the Prime Video. I don't need Prime Video. I have Netflix. I have YouTube. So it's very hard to figure out how to quit that one. They make it hard for a reason, I'm sure. You nominate me for Love and Grace? You're too kind. Way too kind. Uh, yes, they do. They know how to hook you in, and then yeah, it's the free trials, and then you don't realize when they end, and then they got you. And they make it so hard to find out where to stop it. That's the trouble I'm having with the Amazon one right now. Yeah. I'm thinking though, I couldn't do it on my phone. I think you have to go on the website on the computer to do it. So that's what I'm going to try. But you have to call on the phone to American Greetings. I have the number, but they're only open Monday through Friday. So I couldn't call over the weekend. So that's another one I can get rid of. Yeah. Well, I don't want to cancel my card. I use my Amazon card. That would give me a heart attack. I'm only not doing Amazon buy. I buy everything on Amazon. I'm just taking the month off. No spend. This is a no spend month. And most of what I spend that's not necessary, like food and bills, I buy on Amazon. I'm not going to give up my card, but I want to give up the added video, the Prime Video. It's an added one. It's not the one you get free with the card. Oh, a replacement card. Oh. Well, I have that card through my bank. It's a Chase card, Visa card. I do have to have an appointment with my bank guy pretty soon this month. I'll ask him about that. You call Amazon customer service. Yes, if I can't figure it out on the computer, I have a new laptop and the free antivirus is expiring. Not sure what you want to do. Yeah, it's hard to know. I had to change a bunch of my passwords because I tried to use one and it said it's on the list of things that have been compromised, and they gave me the list, and a couple of my other things were too, and I had to go on and change passwords on like three of uh, my things. I hate these password things. Well, so I'm going to close, and hopefully I'll make some sales this next week. Here's another question I have for y'all. Everybody seems to be just offering you low offers now, no matter if you have sales on or not. So here's my question. Why should I put 20 and 25% sales on if still they're going to offer me low ball offers? Why don't I just do a 10% sale? You know, at least the item starts out to be more for them. And if they offer, I don't know. Even Poshmark, who, when I first started on Poshmark, I never got offers. They just paid what I put on there. Or if I'd reduce it and said offers to watchers. They never then sent low ball offers. But now I'm getting them more and more on Poshmark too. Hi, Debbie. Uh, yes, so yeah, 10%. Yeah, maybe I'll try that this next week. Okay. Well, I will see you when? Thursday evening at 7. I'm going to try to do a recorded video before that. And thank you all for being here with me. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.